Hello, all you hardcores. Welcome to part two. We're joined by Jake. He should be clicking on any second. We've got a few tech issues. Story of my life. I'm not sharpest tool in box as regards tech issues, but I don't know what's going on here unless I've pressed something wrong on my end. Welcome, Jake. You there, mate?
Yeah, you hear me?
There you go. Yeah, bang on, mate. On to part two then. Do you think I was a bit harsh on Bean's cancer story other night?
I didn't catch that one. What's the crack with that one?
Well, I've been told it's a load of rubbish. He was in rehab for gambling addiction and a bit of depression, and they've turned it into this cancer story. Well, if it's cancer, in my opinion, he was at Sky 28 years. Now he's beat this cancer. Why is he not back at Sky? Why is there no statement from Sky and whatnot? So I just thought I can't have people pulling wool over my eyes in boxing, not when they're supposed to be squeaky clean. I don't like it. Basically, I've been told that he wasn't at Sky because he couldn't be trusted because he's a gambler. That's why he's gone. Now, Sky are not saying anything, but 28 years service, and we haven't even got a bit of a documentary and a send off from Sky. I just think it's a bit smelly. I just wonder what your take with it on it all.
That's a bit weird. What are they trying to say? He was they gambling with Sky's money? What's the?
No, they're not saying that. If you've got a gambling problem and you're in rehab for gambling and you're in a position that he was in, you can be got at in the boxing industry, can't you? Right?
Yeah,
So they can easily turn it into our in a clinic for cancer and this and that. It's a load of rubbish costs. I've heard back from people who are actually in there. So, but you know, nobody can talk about it. It's like this silence in it, and everybody knows, but nobody wants to say anything, do they? I don't care. He might be a nice guy and all that. Don't waffle on social media about that. Come out and talk about it. Let's see some photos. Let's see a documentary. Let's see what he went through and all that. Because these people, you can't get them off camera. They're on camera every day. They've got an opinion on everything. As soon as you put it on them, they shrivel up. But nobody's talking about the being cancer fake story, are they? You know what I mean? It's fake and a load of rubbish.
I've
So,
not seen. Where's he? Not seen him in a while, even on the screens.
well, he's working with that GMB now, isn't he? Every now and then he's on Talk Sport, but nobody wants to talk about the cancer story, do they? Why not? The man's beat cancer. He's amazing, isn't he? If you beat cancer, right, you're amazing as far as I'm concerned. So why is nobody coming out doing a big piece on beating cancer, and why is he not back at Sky? When he left Sky, he said he wanted to. He's leaving Sky because he wants to try other things. He's ended up in boxing. So he left Sky to try other things, but he's in boxing, still in boxing. Why is he not at Sky? He's beat cancer, so why are they not having him back? That's all I want to know. And that's the only question I want these YouTubers to ask him. Is it so hard for these YouTubers to put it on him about that? So let's see some proof. We're not going to get it. It's a bit like Billy Joe Saunders' cheekbone, isn't it? And Sonny Edwards' cheekbone or eye socket, whatever, isn't it? We're not going to get it because people want to manipulate the media. Not on my watch. When that ice breaks, I'll be waiting.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I harsh? Am I harsh?
Nah, you're passionate, and it's good that you're passionate and voicing yourself.
I don't want to. I don't want people. Listen, I heard enough waffle up there for over 6 years at Attercliffe from Big Ron. I've heard it all, mate. I used to go in there on a Monday and sit there, and I used to go, "What? What?" They say, "You pipe down, you. This is what we're going to say." I'd be like, "What on earth?" Absolute BS from a lot of them. BS. They couldn't lie straight in bed, none of them. I just think they need to be pulled up on it. Because half of them won't be able to do a day in shovel. Won't be able to do a day in the shovel. But hey ho, what can you do? Hang on, what we got here? What we got here? What we got here? Oh, Riyadh season is a seasonal event and it is scheduled during winter. It was first introduced in 2019 and consists of a range of entertainment, cultural, and sporting spectacles. This year, it officially starts on October the 12th and runs between October and March. So Riyadh season starts on October the 12th. So what have we just had then? What have we just had then for the last 6 months? It's Riyadh season every day, innit? Hey? Unbelievable. The season hasn't even begun until October the 12th. But yet all of a sudden, we've just had Riyadh season, haven't we? It is a load of old waffle. All that with that national anthem. What do you think to that, Jake? Tell me, come on, be honest. Don't hide behind your camera like everybody else does. Tell me what you think about that national anthem, please. Come on, Jake.
I didn't see the beginning part. So, did they do the national anthem before or after the normal UK anthem?
Jake, every time I put it on you, you've never seen anything. What are you doing to me? Come on, Jake. Come on, mate. Come on. You heard Saudi national anthem play, didn't you, at Wembley overnight?
Nah, I watched the walk, and then after that, I waited for the other stuff, and I watched the fight. But I'm saying, when I'm being serious. When was it? Was it?
Okay then, mate. Well, all I'm saying is this: they played the Saudi national anthem before the British national anthem. We've got two Brits fighting, right? Everybody knows that. So why are they playing the Saudi national anthem in our national stadium, mate? Do you know what I mean? I have a problem with that. I have a massive problem with that. It's disrespectful. And this is why Bricktop's been on back foot all week. He's coming out defending it. Eddie Hills is coming out defending it. But they were booing it, mate, in the arena. You know, it were cleared for 96,000. Bricktop says there were 98,000, but London Transport cleared it for 96. Chisora says there were 85, but the true figures are 82,400. But I'd be surprised if it were even that. I just wondered, so you didn't hear it, but let's say it did happen, because it did happen. What do you think?
I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I don't know. I don't think it needed to be done, but if it was, I don't think it's that much of a big deal.
You don't think it's that much of a big deal? Well, opinions vary, don't they? The fights happen, don't they? But okay.
I think it would have been if they didn't do the UK anthem and just did that, then fair enough. But yeah, they are putting the money up, so I suppose they want to show some sort of representation that they've put the money in, and no one's funding it in the UK here, so that's their way of kind of stamping down that we've done this. So yeah, I understand it, but yeah, if they didn't do the UK one, then I'll definitely say that's an issue, but I don't think it's the big deal.
So rehab season though begins on October 12th. So what have we just had all year now?
Oh yeah, true.
I don't know about that. It's all craziness, isn't it? Absolute craziness. Big Malk. Oh, Big Malk. You know about that one, don't you?
Yeah, I don't even know where to start on that one.
He's not from your manors. You're not under Kosh down there, are you? He's not nearby.
And like I said, I got strong opinions on that one. What he done that week was he yeah, it was like bang out of order. Especially if he says Don Charles is his friend.
Yeah.
If Don Charles is your friend, and you know he's got a big fight with his fighter. Number one, you don't do that and make the headlines in the week of the fight against your friend when he's got a fighter. And number two, you can call him up if you've got any issues. And number three, you don't do that on fight week. It just seemed a bit attention seeking for me. And it ended up backfiring anyway. And from what I saw with the Don Charles interview the other day, he doesn't want to even his name mentioned.
Yeah, so, yeah. He said, "Don't ever mention that man."
Yeah. So he's lost a friend. And people in the media won't really trust him because he started backtracking on some of the statements he said as well, saying he didn't say this, he didn't say that. And the media outlets, they look stupid as well because they have to take it all down. So
Andy Ayling, who's a decent kid actually, he's running around, he's Bricktop's mouthpiece, telling all these YouTubers, you don't have him on your channels if you want access. So they're going to freeze Big Malk out now. So he's had it. It's been coming a long time for Big Malk, really, because if you remember, he lost his job at Sky for inventing knackers about Oscar Rivers. You remember that because they were going to sue, weren't they?
Yeah, I heard about that.
So I don't know why I think Big Malk likes to go into bat, doesn't he, for people and not tell them he's going into bat for them. But he obviously lost his mind. And do I feel sorry for him? No. He told me on telephone one day that Daniel Kinahan would go over to his kids. You know what I mean? Me and him had a bit of a fallout. And I was taking piss out of him. I was like, oh, I didn't know you were connected, because he had Kinahan ring Dennis up, didn't he? Of course, Spencer were putting helmets because he had the votes. So you've had votes, you're in. Then he says, oh, take it down. You're going to cause me problems, Russell. I went, hey, taking note down. He's had votes. So, so he says, well, you have to ring Spencer and sort it out. Sorry, I'll ring him. Give me his number. He should have just get in touch with me anyway, which he did anyway. He should have done it in first place. But we are having to go to Dennis, because once he went to Dennis, I thought, no, it's getting took down now. He should have come to me. Anyway, but no, it would have got took down anyway. So I said, well, I didn't know you were connected, Spencer. Pissing my pants at the time. And he went, yeah, he's godfather to my kids. Your words, Spencer. Your words. So it is what it is, isn't it? He likes to invent utter BS. And it's backfired on him. That's what happens. If you're a fantasist, that's what happens. And he's lost a mate there now. And all for what? Just because old man Standard Bar asked him if he could hook him up with Don Charles. And he's more or less going behind the scenes saying, where's my fee? You know, these people like him. Flyby nights. Let me tell you a little story. Ambrose Mendy. Yeah. You came up to Dennis's, didn't you, and borrowed 11 grand. Do you remember? I do. What happened? When Dennis asked for it back 18 months later, have you got that 11, Ambrose? He went, didn't you get me invoice? He said, invoice for what? He went, oh, because I put you together with a certain person. That's my fee. That's what these people do. Isn't that right? Ambrose Mendy, 11 bags you owe Dennis. Yeah. Dennis was like, well, what? I've lost more down back at settee. This is what you're up against. This is why they don't have any roles in boxing, because they can't be trusted. You understand? You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I put you in touch with somebody with Richard Poxon and for Ricky Hatton and this and that for this fight. It was something to do when Dennis had Ricky Hatton. Dennis is like, what? What? He came to me for a loan. No one mentioned about anything about putting anybody together, blah, blah, blah. It's like Spencer now going up to stand the bar. I said, oh, you couldn't let me 500 quid, Stan, could you? Stan going, oh, yeah. Keep me back in a few months. And then him seeing him 18 months later and saying, oh, have you got that 500 quid, Spencer? And Spencer was like, oh, I'll put you that invoice. Don't you remember? If I put you together with Don Charles to work with Don Charles, that's my fee.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. You see where I'm coming from? A lot of that was on in boxing, and these people need pulling up on it. Do you know what I mean? They're not to be trusted. Ambrose Mendy, what's his role in boxing now? Nobody wants to work with him. What's Spencer's role now? Nobody wants to work with him, do they? See where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's what happens. They can't lie straight in bed. Spencer's only ever done a week in Nick, haven't you, Spencer? He did a week in Nick with Terry Dunstan. You were like that in Terry Dunstan's cell. And he got bailed in after a week. That's Spencer's claim to fame. His week in the shovel. In the big house, eh? Budgie Bird. He did a week. Pop, bang on that one. Big Malk. I had Peter DeFreitas on the other day. What did you think to that, Jake?
Yeah, I like that episode. I was watching that yesterday. I like that.
Well, the last time I had Peter DeFreitas on here, I'd sent him the contract that Big Malk, Spencer Fearon, and his mate, Big Tunde, that they sent me, right, to fight Spencer. Listen, I'll get stuck into Spencer. Get down to 11 stone, Spencer, and we'll get at it, you prick. But let me tell you this contract they sent me were like £20,000. Well, that's all right. But what it said, I weren't allowed to mention his name on social media or whatever. Or they could come and put a charge on whatever I've got, come and take stuff off me and all that. It was basically a contract for me to easily fall into a trap and be liable for thousands of pounds. And they must have thought I was stupid. But they're the sort of contracts that are involved in boxing. You heard Christopher Eubank Jr. going on about the one he's just recently been in with somebody, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw that one.
That's what happens. That's what happens. Promoters run the sport, but what I find amazing is in under a day, everybody's all mates. Isn't that amazing? After all that was said, defamation stuff and blah, blah, blah. Oh, everybody's all friends now. Eh? Friends to the end. You know, like Chucky in that film, Child's Play. Andy, Friends to the end. Oh my God. Do me a favour. Grow some backbone, all of yous. They all should be embarrassed, really, to be honest. But hey ho, what can you do? Okay. Joe Joyce. Where do you see him going now, Jake?
Where do you see him going? I'm concerned for him. That video I saw of him when he got asked the question, he took about 10 years to and he just stopped. I just thought someone close to him needs to tell him to stop boxing. Someone, because yeah, he needs to stop fighting. That video was really, really concerning. So yeah, I don't know if he fights again. I think I heard Frank Warren signed Yoka and he's gonna do the rematch with them too. I don't know how true that is, but
yeah, he has got Yoka apparently. Yeah. Well, this is
yeah,
how I look at it, right? When you meet rematch from Olympics.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good. That listen, Frank Warren's boxing. He is boxing through and through, right? If he's doing that, that's a good fight. I can get behind that. There's like all of these other shows he's been putting, I can get behind. But don't make out you're squeaky, Mr. Squeaky, because you're not Mr. Squeaky. Right. You remember a couple of weeks ago, I put a video out and I said Joshua versus Joe Joyce at the Copper Box next year. Maybe I
yeah,
should have said Copper Box, but I did say that, didn't I? Right. And everybody went, oh, no, he's going to run through the bar. Now he's been beat. What are they talking about? Joe Joyce has mixed to fight Joshua. Can you see that happening? And is Joyce a shot fighter? Yes or no?
he's definitely a shot fighter. I think the Zhang, I think I spoke about it before. The Zhang defeats have had a big impact on him. So I think they'll feed him to Joshua, hoping Joshua gets a little confidence booster from that. But yeah, I think yeah, that could possibly happen now, especially if the Diddy bar fight doesn't happen. And you got to remember the Fury, depending on what happens with Fury Usyk, Joshua could be waiting around a long time because I heard the bar's come out and said he's not fighting until next year now anyway.
Yeah.
So the way the things can move around, possibly, yeah, that fight could happen, Joyce and Joshua.
Well, Joe Joyce is 40. His next birthday turns 40. So he's knocking on a bit now, isn't he?
Yeah.
I know he's only had 103 rounds, but he's knocking on a bit.
Took a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's took damage. And Anthony Joshua's, he's 35 now, isn't he? And he's, you know, he's got miles on clock now and he's been knocked about, can't pull trigger. So could you buy into that fight? And how would they sell that fight? Would they sell it on sparring stories from EIS, do you think?
Well, Joyce is not really the most talkative anyway. And like I said, I feel like he's needs to retire personally. So that can't be pay-per-view. There's no way that could be pay-per-view. That will be maybe a co-main event to something else.
You know what my opinion about is Joe Joyce's? He's a big dummy. Big old dummy. Imagine being sat on an aeroplane next to him. Be a big old dummy like that, wouldn't you? But look, he's a big dummy, but you know, he can. What does Adam Smith going about? Oh, Joe Joyce, what do you think to him next for AJ Adam Smith? He was like that, wasn't he? Oh, he couldn't say anything. Then he went, oh, he's a really good artist. Have you seen his drawings? What the fuck? Who cares about his drawings like that guy with oh, I've seen the the thing for his next tattoo. He's gonna have a spider's web on his elbow. And Josh Warrington's an explosive fighter. He's got a stamp collection. Oh my good God, who cares about Josh Warrington's stamp collection? Can he fight? Yeah. Is he shot? He's shot to bits. But nobody wants to tell the truth. Josh Warrington's had one win in 5 years. One win in 5 years. And that were against the guy he beat 62 months previous who were an old man in Kiko Martinez. That's it. That is it. That's Josh Warrington in last. It's shocking, mate, what's gone on. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. So we're talking like 10 years since he fought Martinez first time. Unbelievable, mate. But people keep reinventing the wheel, don't they? Silent bands. We've covered this before, but we're going to cover it again because I'm not going to let this go. Is Crusher Ben serving a silent ban? Yes or no?
Yeah, I reckon I wouldn't doubt it. The fact he's doing so many interviews saying next year he should be out. Yeah, highly possible. Highly possible. Because it would have been 2 years, I think, isn't it? 2 years since the whole felt. So yeah, maybe a 4-year ban, 2 year backdated, and then 2.5.
Martin
Possibly,
McCauley, Jake, right? Billy Nelson's gone into bat for him on social media. He's been doing that for years, hasn't he, really? I mean, it's not that long ago, Billy Nelson were telling us that Ricky Burns could beat Mayweather, were it? I mean, we all remember it, don't we? Right, Martin McCauley. Is he a bogeyman that's avoided?
I'm not too sure yet. I'm not too sure. I don't think there's a queue to fight him, but like I said, I feel like he's definitely due a big fight, and only time will tell because we only hear about sparring stories really with him. So
Yeah, I keep hearing about this Usyk sparring story that he's supposed to have bashed Usyk and all that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 minute. But if they're saying it's happening, it's happening. But I don't believe that. What about Joseph Parker against Joshua 2? Would you want to see that rematch, or do you think Parker might have his number now?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of Parker's as a fighter or his style, so I wouldn't really be interested in that.
The Stinkinator, I call him, mate. Well, we're going to tell it straight, aren't we? We might as well. We'll tell everything else straight.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of his style, so I wouldn't be interested in that, to be fair. But yeah, I think he has a better chance against Joshua now.
Yeah.
No better to fight him. But yeah.
Jonathan from Pontefract is a thorn in my arsehole today, aren't you, Jonathan? With all your emails. Stop sending loads of emails. Just send it in one. You don't have to send me 10 emails for 10 questions. Just put all 10 on one email. You. Anyway, I'm just going to read one of yours out, Jonathan. Is Anthony Joshua a top 10 fighter now in the world at heavyweight? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'd still put him in there.
You still put him in top 10, would you, Jake?
Yeah, I'd still put him in there. I think it's a bad error of all heavyweights, but I'll still put him in there because there's if Chisora is in the top 10, as you said, is he top 15 or top 10? Chisora, did you say earlier?
Chisora is not in my top 15, mate. I don't know what top 15 you're looking. He's 41-year-old in November, mate. He's not in my top 15.
No, what did you say earlier about the rankings? He said he's in the top. Is it 15
oh, he's in the top. He's top 10 IBF, but he's not in Porky's top 15.
So based on that, Joshua definitely would be in the top 10 for me.
Yeah. I'm on about across the board. I'm not just on about one sanctioning body because you might get Chisora number 10 at IBF, but WBC or another governing body or Ring Magazine or Boxing Scene or BritishBoxers.com or whatever, they might not have him in top 20.
Yeah.
He's in the IBF top 10 because somebody's lobbying for him and they're giving the IBF. There you go. You have to lobby. When you lobby, you got to pay. That's how it goes. So if he's in IBF at number 10, somebody's paying to keep him there. Because if he's paying, he'd be not, when it says not rated.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'll see something and it says not rated. That means that their promoters or their managers or their handlers are not greasing the governing bodies. So somebody's greasing for him to be top 10, aren't they? Right. So if he's top 10 with IBF, he's Joshua. Yeah, obviously. But take that Chisora out that. Is he in your top 10? Yes or no?
Joshua would definitely make my top 10.
Oh,
I'd have it.
Hey, come on.
Yeah, he's definitely still in it. Tell me your top 10 would be, Porky.
Well, listen, you're going to have Usyk, aren't you? You're going to have Fury. Right. You're going to have, who we got then? Who we got after them lot? It's like a lottery, innit? Of guys that have been knocked about, innit, really?
That's why I said it's a poor
been knocked about. Joshua's been knocked about. Chisora can't even speak properly. Have you heard him? He sounds like Scooby-Doo. Fraser Clark's already been in a war, hasn't it? And he's only a baby, hasn't it? Wardley's got a bit of miles on clock, hasn't it? It could be anybody. It's all different, isn't it? But I wouldn't have him in my top 10, Joshua. Now, I think Fraser Clark does Joshua now.
Nah.
I do.
Yeah, push. Who would you put in your top 10? Because like I said, it's a poor error. You're struggling there.
So of course we're going to be struggling because everybody's been knocked about. Would you put Wilder in there?
Just about now, Wilder.
Frank Sanchez has been beat. You'd have Caballel in there, wouldn't you, as number 3?
Caballel,
you'd have Fury and Usyk, or Usyk, Fury, Caballel. Right?
Dubois. Daniel
Dubois, yeah. You'd have them 4, wouldn't you? Who else would you have? You wouldn't
Bacoli.
have Joshua, would you? Come on.
Bacoli in there.
You'd have Bacoli as 5, but you wouldn't have Joshua in any of them next 5, would you? It'd be like a Royal Rumble to get into the 5, wouldn't it, Jake? Do you think?
I'm trying to think of names. That Bacoli.
Everybody's been knocked about, and the Dylan White, he's inactive. He hasn't fought in Britain for 2 years, has he?
No way,
Frank Sanchez has been beat. Who's that other one? Jared Anderson's been beat. Otto Wallin's been beat a couple of times, hasn't he?
Ruiz has drew twice.
Ruiz is, yeah, there you go. You can go on forever, can't you? Miller's been beat a few times, hasn't he? So it's all like, it's a free-for-all after them 5, isn't it? But Caballel's not, Ortiz is coming back, isn't he? Luis Ortiz. Caballel's not getting his flowers, is he? Anderson and Sanchez have been beat. Caballel's got to be in there as number 3, hasn't he? He's avoided in it now.
I'll say number 4 behind Dubois.
Yeah, you'd put It's Big Freeze on there because you should have had that win against Wardley, Fraser Clark. I'd have Fraser Clark in my top 10 easily.
Come on, Porky. Fraser Clark.
I'm telling you now, Fraser Clark's an Olympic bronze medal. What about Ergovic then?
All right, who's Fraser Clark's best win, Porky?
I understand where you're coming from. But I thought he beat Wardley and got robbed.
I did as well. I thought he beat Wardley. But who's his best win other than that? That's a draw.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. It's open for debate, isn't it? But he's an Olympic bronze. Ergovic's Olympic bronze. But who's his best win? Zhang. You put Zhang in there, wouldn't you? But
Zhang, yeah, got him.
But Zhang beat him, but he didn't get the nod. So it's all messed up isn't it?
Yeah, I think the Fraser Clark and Wardley's, they're just the level below. I'd say the level below to even get in the top 10. But
Cole has been beat by Hunter.
Yeah, but Hunter's not.
So, hey,
Hunter's not even full. He's not even active himself.
People are saying Moses Fatome is a top 10 guy. He's a puppy dog, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor error. No, that's what I was saying. It's a poor error. We're even having to debate like this over top 10.
Well, according to Mr. Bean, he's saying it's welcome to the Blue Ribbon division. It's back. It's thriving. How is it thriving? Usyk's the daddy. And then you've got Fury, haven't you? He's just been knocked about by Usyk. Caballel's undefeated. Then you'd have Martin McCauley, wouldn't you? But he's got a defeat against a cruiserweight. So what kind of that Martin McCauley's going to turn up? It's open for debate, isn't it, really? But I suppose that's what makes it all exciting, isn't it, really? Yui's coming back, but Yui needs to get his skates on, really. Yui's fighting somebody tonight who I'd want him to be fighting somebody better than that. But after tonight, Yui will beat that kid tonight. After tonight, I want to see Yui stepping up now. Yui's got to start fighting somebody. So I can't keep going into bat for Yui, can I? If he don't fight somebody. Yui's not even 30 yet, is he? He needs to fight somebody after tonight. They've got to give him a fight. He's hard to match, isn't he, Yui, because of his style. But I want to see Yui in a fight because he's good enough, but he's just hard to match. It's so frustrating. What do you think?
And he's had a bit of bad luck with injuries and illnesses. So
yeah. Hey, listen, Parker fight. He was robbed against Parker, wasn't he? Come on.
Definitely, yeah. I agree.
They shafted that young kid that night, you know.
Yeah,
awful. But I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing Dave Allen's going to make another run for it. The Jim Royal of boxing. Have you seen him on YouTube?
No, I don't even watch.
His big beard. He keeps repeating the same old stories, doesn't he, about sparring? Dave, stop it. Shave your beard off. Go for a morning run and get yourself in good nick. And then come back in a year and we'll take you seriously. Till then, I can't take him serious. When he's going, Usyk knocked me out. I was stood up and I was snoring. We've heard it 50 times, Dave. Stop it, Dave. Stop it. You're driving Ozzy Smith mad. Sardana, Jake, do you think? What about Lawrence Okoli? WBC Bridgerweight world champion. Nobody's giving him any PR whatsoever because he's a Joe G fighter. What do you think to that, Jay?
I think his next move should be he should just move up to heavyweight and get his because he's WBC. He should get automatic mandatory, shouldn't he? If he moves up to heavyweight, I'll do that now.
Well, I want to see Lawrence Okolie against Dylan White because there's a bit of beef there.
That's a good fight.
That's a good fight. That Lawrence Okolie against Dylan White, the can man. Anybody who wants it can get it, according to Dylan White. Well, why don't you fight somebody then, Dylan? Instead of strolling around with a big old rop on you, a big old derby. We call him a rop in Doncaster. It's a big old rop. Big old rop on him. Walking around, titty man. The titty man, Dylan White, with tits. Dylan White's got tits like John Fury. Walking about, talking outside of his mouth like an OG. Get somebody fought. Fight somebody. And answer questions. Are you serving a silent ban? You're 2 years out at ring in England. Nobody's asking the question, Jake. I'm going to end up having another ulcer. What do you think?
Yeah, no one's going to talk about it. Well, like I said, he hasn't got even got a UK license. So I don't think that's even going to come out. That's going to get swept under the carpet.
It's on a Portuguese one, mate.
Yeah.
It's not good, mate. It's not good. But we've done our best. We've put a few things to the pork sword this evening. A can of Guinness and a can of cider. I'm steaming here. Look at stating me. I've got that James coming on in a bit. We used to work with Steve Wood in about 45 minutes. That'll be a good one. I better go on water now or coffee.
It's a cool.
All right then, Jake. Well, listen, thanks for coming on. You've been a gentleman. I hope you and your family are all right. Where are you going now?
I'm just gonna go and get some food, eat some food, and then
What are you gonna get?
Friday, so maybe a bit of Chinese.
Chinese, kid. Go on, lad. Prawn crackers and all that. Why don't you go to that place that Johnny Fisher goes to? They love a Chinese, him and his dad, don't they?
Yeah, Bosh.
Good boss. All right then, mate. Listen, Jake, you take care. I'll have you on next week. All right, mate?
Yeah, man, no problem. Catch up soon.
Good, mate. Bye. That was Jake from Lewisham, I think. Women love him, men want to be him. He's now off for a Chinese, eh? Chinese food. Can't beat it, can you? That's about it, really. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Don't forget to give Smido a... let me just check on here that I've got Smido's channel correct. Because I might have been shouting out the wrong thing. Because my memory is shocking these days. Smido. Racers Now YouTube is Smido's YouTube channel. So everybody needs to go over there and subscribe. So Racers Now YouTube. So all you horse racing fans, Racers Now YouTube. Jump over there, subscribe, and leave a comment saying, Big P's told me it's a sub. Make me look good. All right. Thanks for liking and subscribing, leaving a comment. Don't forget PORKYS International. We're flying high on that one. Woo! Woo! Pop, pop, bang. Big John Fury. Why are you quiet? Big John Fury, big fighting man. In the ring or on the hard road. Where are you? You've never had a fight in your life.